Subsistence fishers in KwaZulu-Natal are calling on the provincial government to restore traditional fishing areas in eThekwini. Access to beachfront piers has been restricted since 2009 due to renovations for the 2010 Soccer World Cup. Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise has the story.
A pier ban instituted by former city manager Mike Sutcliffe, and the fish folk here say he did so in order to prioritize surfers instead of subsistence fish folk.
It's hard work. We got a democratic government today. It's our constitutional right to food. And now they are following the trend of the previous city manager who was Mike Sutcliffe. He got rid of us off the piers. He was happy, so the surfers were just owning the pier and the water. So that's how they got rid of us. Under false pretense, they said they're going to do repairs to the piers. After the World Cup, 2010 World Cup, we'll be allowed back onto the pier. But when the World Cup ended and we tried to gain access to the pier, they put security guards to prevent us from going onto the pier.
Fisher folk in eThekwini only have access to this pier at the Snake Park in Durban. The ban restricts them from utilizing other piers in the city. They say due to the restriction, they're unable to cast their lines into deeper waters, which would enable them to catch a variety of fish. This fisherman says they're being treated like criminals when all they want is to make a living.
We had a meeting with city management. We asked them to come to a compromise because they were complaining that we hook in the surfers, we hook in the baiters, and we hook in the boogie boarders. I said, okay, fine, let's compromise. When there's no guards, when there's no lifesavers, when there's no boogie boarding, when there's no surfing, when there's no baiting, there's no one on the beach, give us the privilege to put food on our table.
The piers that we want open are very long and very deep waters. That's where the fish is. The piers that we are given, Snake Park Pier, Sunkist Pier, and Suncoast Pier, is very shallow.
The KZN Subsistence Fishing Forum says the eThekwini municipality should allow their members to fish in deeper waters.
We always say that these piers are regarded as a poor man's boat, because obviously we're talking about poor fisher folks who use traditional gear, not expensive rod and reel, and they don't have the privilege to throw the line into deeper waters, and they don't have the funds to even hire or charter boats to go into the deeper waters. So these piers give them the privilege to say that they are now fishing as if they're fishing off a boat.
The municipality says access has been restricted in some areas due to non-compliance.
They are non-compliant in terms of the National Environmental Management Act and have no valid licenses. Sometimes they catch undersized fish and they exceed the bag limit. Some other issues that have been raised by residents and visitors, to our beaches include the lack of hygiene, assault, sleeping, use of drugs and littering by the fishermen, which unfortunately impacts negatively on tourists and beaches.
The South Durban Community Environmental Alliance says fisherfolk have been marginalized for a long time.
They are the marginalized, they've been affected, and they are the first one to be oppressed, and our fishing stocks are being dealt with behind closed doors. And some of the major countries and major fishing companies have been given the quotas and therefore depriving our own people of food to put on the table.
For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Nobuhle Modise in Durban.